next. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we wind up Week 5 with a good battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. They find some open field here. And he's going to get this one all the way down to the Rams' 32-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
You ain't doing nothing today.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Walker.
8 yards there on a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down, it's Walker.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Walker going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
That's caught at the 3. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now Wentz on 3rd down.
They'll find a man over the middle, Tutu Atwell.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And Walker has it. And he is going to lose yardage here. 9 yards is the loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
long. They'll look to throw. It's reeled in by Baldwin. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be called for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
A give up the middle to Akers.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. They'll run the toss to Walker. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. Myers' kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Jair Elam makes a pick. And the Rams will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Tackle that time by Sidney Jones.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Second and 7, operating from the 34.
Great 15, great 15.
They'll go again here with Akers.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing on first is Wentz.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, it's Wentz.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line. 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. Wentz to throw again.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say,
or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
This run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A give, running right is Akers. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Whistles come in and a timeout. We'll see if they try to run one more quick hitter, or will they go ahead and kick the field goal here. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Bryson Hopkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle. Here's a run with Akers on second down.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Walker. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. It's caught. Lockett.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
41 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Wentz.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Baldwin now to return.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Now back to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
My good friend, I'm just going to pose the question to you. Did that look like a pass that he should have thrown?
Now, the rookie probably needs to be a little bit more careful in these situations.
Yeah, that throw will turn him into a veteran quicker, but not in the way that he wants. He wants to learn his lessons by making good throws, not throws like that.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Rams will take over here at their own 12-yard line. What did you see there, Charles, on that interception from the rookie?
They've shown him certain looks on defense throughout the first half, and they pulled the string here in the second half because he got used to those looks, and they showed the exact same thing, but changed it up just a little bit where he thought something was open, and now with the change in defense, it no longer was.
And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Myers connects on the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently, so that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give. Akers running left.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Got a man open, it's Tyler Higbee.
And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Wentz now on 1st down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks. And defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Down the man inside, down the man.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here we go.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. And incomplete on the deep ball. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Seahawks will get the football back in outstanding field position.
A give for Walker running right.
There he goes right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Wentz on 3rd down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback to just throw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, tell all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
And some nice running, going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams' 18-yard line. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Walker.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Kenneth Walker with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 24. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Fair catch. Made at the 24-yard line. The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Again, it's Wentz. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield.
And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week, offense still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Seahawks, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3.